How you doing, folks? Just going to do a quick video on your new camper, show you where everything is. And just go around the back here. We'll start inside the back door here. Now just in the driver's side here, we've our little control panel. On the left hand side of it here, we've a main power switch. So we turn that into the center position there, it's all off. We push in the bottom here. It's using the caravan battery, the auxiliary battery, second battery, back center off. Push in at the top is using the engine battery, the battery that starts the van. So recommend leave it in on the bottom here. Couple of other wee switches here. We've a main water pump switch on and off. You can leave that on because the pump's automatic, it'll only come on when it's needed. You've a main light switch here and an auxiliary wee switch there. Couple of fuses in these little round things here if ever you need them. So that's your control panel. You're just in behind the toilet here is your main strip switches. They're kind of hard to see there. They're your main strip switches if ever you need them. Operate similar to ones you'd have in the house. So they're just in behind the toilet there. Now your toilet itself, you've a chemical toilet, turns in there. If we can just turn that out facing us here, lift up the wee lid. So up on the top of it here, we have a wee pump. We pump that, it pumps the chemical in for your flush. And just around on the back side of it here, just down the back here, we have a little lever for opening and closing the cassette door. Just pull that towards the middle of the van to open it, push it back to close it. Let's push that out of the way here. You've a wee roller door here, covers over the whole lot when it's not in use. Now just outside here, just inside the back door, this is your filler for the flush. Generally just fill that with water. There's pink chemical in it at the minute. It's just for kind of a fragrant kind of thing. And in the bottom door here we have our toilet cassette. Now our cassette comes out. We just lift up this little yellow lever under the bottom of the cassette, just slide the whole thing out towards us. It'll all come out here. Just set this down here and be able to see it. Now to empty your cassette, if we turn out that nozzle, screw off this wee lid off it here, and that comes off, that lid comes off. That's your wee measuring cup for your blue chemical. It's important to use this if you're using a liquid chemical. If you're using the tabs, just throw them into it. And to empty it, just pour your stuff out there. There's a little vent button on the back of it here, there's a little yellow button. If you hold that down as you're emptying it, just lets air in, everything will flow out a lot cleaner. To put it back in, we'll just set it in there and just push it in, and it just clicks into place, locks into place. So that's your toilet system. Now your gas is just underneath the oven here. If we just open that wee locker, there's your gas bottle there. We turn up and down this wee red top to open and close that. There's a wee spanner there. We can screw off this gas pipe here, and this neck screws out of the bottle. When you get the bottle, you just get up to here. So if we screw off this here, and we can screw that out then to change the gas bottle. This here is left hand thread, it's an opposite thread to normal. You have a couple of isolator valves here. It's telling us here what they are. The reds for the hob, the whites for the oven, blues for the fridge. There's a little green one down the bottom, it's for your outside barbecue point. They're only if you want to turn off the gas to one appliance. If you had a problem with something like that, you could turn off one at a time instead of turning them all off. So that's your gas. Now your cooker has a wee sparker button just here beside just underneath it. It's a standard cooker. If we turn on the gas valve, just hold down the gas valve and we'll push the wee button just to light it. So that's our cooker away. Once it's lit, keep the gas valve held down for a couple of seconds, and when the whole lot's warmed up, it'll stay running. You can turn it the whole way anti-clockwise for low flame, turn it back to the middle for full flame, and right up for off. This one here on the left is the same. And your oven has a wee sparker button on it just down underneath the valve here. So if we turn this knob clockwise, we'll hold in the gas valve and just push the wee sparker, and you can see there it lights up. That's the grill. Same as the cooker, once it's lit for a few seconds, you can let go of the wee gas valve and that's your grill away. Turn it back anti-clockwise for off, and we turn it around then for our oven settings, and the same. We'll just hold that in and push the wee sparker. Okay. Let's see the oven lit in there now. So that's your oven and grill. Now your fridge, just across from that, we have a three-way fridge here. We can see the knob on the left hand side is our power source. So that's up the top there, it's off at the minute. Now if we turn this around, the first click around is our mains power. That'll use your mains lead when you're plugged into a campsite or plugged into the house. Your fridge will run in mains. The next one around is our 12 volt. It'll run off the battery. That only works when your engine's running. So if you're driving someplace, your engine's running, you could turn it down to here. Your fridge will work off the battery. Very bottom is gas, the gas setting. That just switches on into the gas setting, and we actually have to light it over here. So we've this, similar to a cooker, we've a gas knob here, that's on full at the minute. We've an igniter button, and we've a wee gauge here, just tells us it's in the white, so it's not lit at the minute. So to light this, if I hold in the gas valve and push this sparker button, we can hear it clicking there, and it's lit. We can see the little needle going up into the green. Once the needle's in the green for a couple of seconds, we can let go of this gas valve here, and that's your fridge running on gas. Just make sure that little needle stays up in the green, just to tell you it's running. If I turn it off here on this left hand side, I'll turn it up into off. You can see the needle drop straight into the white once the gas went out. Tells you it's not running on gas. So that's your fridge, three-way fridge. Now heating, you've just underneath the seats here, we've an electric heater, just an on-off switch in it. So that's just a wee electric heater when you're plugged in the mains, just for heating the van. And just up over the TV here, we've a diesel heater. Now on the top right hand side of it here, we've an on-off switch. Just push that button, switches on. It's 21 degrees here at the minute. The green light's on to tell us it's working. We can up and down our temperature to whatever we fancy. Let's push the down button here. And we can bring it down to a more sensible temperature for you. And that's it. And we'll just push this again to switch off the heating. You can have it on a fan setting if you want the fan running just to circulate air. That button on the left hand side. So that's your diesel heater. Now your water heater is underneath the seat here behind the passenger. Just if we open up this wee door here, you can see just on the side of it there, there's a on-off switch. It's electric only. It'll only work when you're plugged in the mains, so you can turn it on and up and down whatever temperature you require. And that's it, I think. It's plugged in there, just underneath the back of the seat. It's plugged in there. There's a switch and the plug if you wanted to turn it off altogether. That's it. Now your TV, the wee aerial, I just sat it up here beside this window. It just plugs in the side of the TV. The TV will unhook off the wall handy. If you just lift up the TV about half an inch or so, it'll unhook off the wall. It's easier, plug it in and out. And there's a wee remote control here. Everything's 12 volt here, so you don't need to be plugged in for this. Just a wee red button on the top of the remote, and it'll power up our TV for us. It's a good wee aerial, that's handy.
It's my fault that Harry left St. Bart's. I felt like I owed him, but I'm over it and I'm over them.
I could fix you up.
Now, as you go around, you'll probably have to retune the TV. If we go into the menu here, just over these arrows on the right hand side, if we push the menu button, brings up this page in the TV, and we just come across using the right arrow, come across to that blue setting in the middle, and we'll just come down then, and we can see here auto tuning, and we'll just press enter, and that'll auto tune. It'll save whatever it finds. It's the handiest way of working the TV. Now I'll just make up these beds here and we'll show you underneath them where everything is there. Now folks, to make up your beds, on the passenger side here, I lifted out the two headrests, and this rear seat here, it slide it as far forward as it'll go, and just recline the whole backrest. Recline the whole backrest down. You've just this lever on the side of it here for reclining. And the front seat, I pulled it forward and reclined. This is the back of the front seat here. Reclined it down horizontal. So that makes up your bed on the passenger side. On the driver's side here, I took out the cushion along the wall there, and there's a short cushion sits in there at the table. I took it out, that's it. Short cushion there, and that's the backrest that sits along the wall, and I just moved this cushion back and done the same with the driver's seat. Just pulled it slightly forward and reclined the seat down, and that'll give you your two beds. Now underneath so that's the driver's seat back up out of the way. Let's move this cushion here. So underneath this side facing seat here, this will all lift up. So we can see in here we have our leisure battery in there. That's your electric heater behind us. And down here we have a waste tank, a black waste tank. That'll go outside underneath the rear corner of the van for the waste. Now, there's a couple of auxiliary 12 volt fuses just in the back there behind that wee drawer. A couple of extra fuses. That's your beds, making up your beds. Now we've this wee gadget here. I'll leave this in the blue bag. That's an outside barbecue point. It goes on just around on the back corner here. It goes in there. It's for working an outside barbecue using the gas in the vans. You just push it in and it'll turn quarter to turn, switch on and off the gas out to us. Now your fresh water goes in just opposite the toilet here. That wee drum there is your fresh water supply into the van. You've a wee hose here for your waste. Your waste water just comes out just from your sink. It comes out this wee thing here, and just behind the back wheel on the passenger side. So that wee grey pipe goes into that, and you can lift your black drum just outside there for emptying your drum or for catching the water. Now your awning. The wee handle just goes in the awning on the back end of the van here. And you wind this out, it winds your awning out. Now your legs here, I'll just put this leg in out of the way here, and we'll be able to show you what way they work. Now your legs just sit in there, so when you wind out your awning, we recommend wind them out so you can reach them. And we grab the leg here and just slide it out towards you, and the same this end, it'll uncatch there, and just put your leg down and use the leg to take the weight of the awning. When you've your leg up, just tighten that thumb screw, holds it into place. And we generally put the legs out at an angle, and you can wind your awning out then using the leg to support the front of it, and the awning will go out till that bar goes out straight. To put it back in, it's just the opposite. If we loosen this screw here, and we'll just slide that up there, and just lift the leg up into place. Leg will just sit in underneath that wee clip there, and just push in the back end of it, just pushes in, and you just wind your awning in then using this handle till it's in all the way. That's your awning in place. Around this side, around the driver's side of the van, just on the back side of it, we have our mains plug-in point. You just plug your mains lead in there to give you power in for your fridge and stuff. There's an outside aerial point here, it's wired up beside the TV. If you're in a campsite that has, say, communal aerial or aerial points on the pitches, you can plug in, take off that cover, plug in there. Now, up on your driver's side here, your bonnet pull is just inside the door there, just on the right hand side of the throttle pedal. And just underneath your bonnet, there's a couple of basic wee bits. You have a dipstick down here, just a yellow dipstick down here, and your oil filling cap is there. This blue cap here is your windscreen wash, and the rest of the stuff just your coolant, brake fluid, power steering fluid. That's it. This battery here just in front of the passenger is the battery for starting the van, your auxiliary battery. You've two fuses here, they'll be going into the back of the van. One will be for the fridge on 12 volt, and one will be for charging the battery in the back when the engine's running. Back around to the passenger side here. Now you swivel seats here underneath the seats. This is an extra slide for moving the seat forward and backwards, and you have the original one just in here for moving the seat forwards and backwards, and this lever here is for the swivel. If we push that down, it'll release the seat, and you can swivel the seat around. It's only the passenger seat turns, the driver's seat just is an ordinary slide forwards and backwards on it. Now folks, I think that's everything. I hope you enjoy your van. Best of luck with it.